Bulls, stay dandy, baby. The true origins of the Rainbow Pearls are officially revealed, and Riku finally gets to do something other than being incredibly cryptic. This was another solid addition to the Yashahime anime series, another episode which, like the last, felt important, integral, something that you shouldn't skip if you want to know all about the deeper meanings and lore of the Yashahime universe. And it also happened to be pretty cool because we finally got to see Riku in action. He's always been an important character in the background, incredibly mysterious, and someone who seemed like they were going to be sort of like the glue that was holding together this whole Rainbow Pearl subplot. And we not only get to learn a little bit more about his true allegiances and what he's actually doing, but how he interacts with the main characters of the series and why that's going to be important as we move into the future of the show. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the bigger details about this episode. First, it actually opens up with a little bit of a flashback where we get to learn that Riku is actually one of the retainers of Kirinmaru. Now, this is some pretty important information as everybody's been trying to figure out what Riku's deal was in the first place. Was he Kirinmaru's son? Was he actually Kirinmaru himself? Was there some sort of relation here? And the main relation he seems to have is that he's also completely obsessed with Lady Zero, this woman who is obsessed with Inuyasha and Sesshomaru's father, to the point where when Inuyasha's father actually died, she actually wanted to completely rid herself of all of her emotions as well as her demon powers. And the way that she actually ended up doing this is actually tied to the big mythical object of the original Inuyasha series, the Shikon Jewel. She actually made a wish on this, and when her tear actually hit the Shikon Jewel, it split up into 7 rainbow pearls. And basically these pearls, when they come together, will form the full emotions and powers of Lady Zero. Now, Riku actually wants to get these so that he can give them back to her. He wants to return her to her former self, and that's probably because he's completely in love with her. At least that's sort of the vibe that I actually got from this episode, but it's a pretty important detail about his character, and it kind of changes him. I can't really classify him as a villain quite yet, as he hasn't really done anything all that evil. The problem is, while he's working with Lady Zero, he's also working with Kirinmaru all at the same time, and we know that he wants these demon rainbow pearls for some other weird reason. But basically, this flashback might be the most important thing about this episode, while most of it actually follows on a big interaction between Riku and Toa. You see, it's another one of those full moon situations where Toa ends up losing all of her powers, and she's completely defenseless. Luckily, Riku is in this episode to help her out because Totetsu is in town, and he really wants to kill her and get that rainbow pearl. Now, it's pretty obvious that Totetsu is the last member of the big 4 perils, and he's definitely, I think, in my opinion, like maybe one of the least interesting members of the group. A lot of that owing to the fact that basically he's just a big, dumb, loud monster, but while he is that, he is certainly very powerful, and he has a pretty intense battle with Riku where he actually manages to really hold his own and outright almost defeat him. It is cool that we get to see Riku actually utilizing some of his distinctive powers, being able to summon a sword and go toe-to-toe with him basically on his own terms, but Totetsu here is definitely more of the muscle here. He really is pushing him back quite a bit. You know, of course, Moroha and freaking Setsuna show up to actually help out, especially because Toa can't really do anything just for the fact that she's been transformed back into her normal human state. But we do get kind of a twist ending here where the 3 girls actually don't finish off Totetsu. It's none other than Riku, who basically just flies up into the sky, uses his sword, and straight up decapitates this monster, taking his rainbow pearl for himself. In the process, even asking Toa if he can actually have hers, and knowing his backstory and what he actually wants to plan and do with all this, she actually just ends up giving the pearl to him. But by the end of it, she kind of regrets it, knowing that potentially it could be used for evil if used by Kirinmaru. The episode ends with Riku gaining another rainbow pearl and needing only 2 more to fulfill his dream. And luckily, Moroha finally has the head of a super powerful demon, one that just simply refuses to die. While Totetsu is officially defeated in this episode, his head is still able to speak and all this stuff, but basically this just means that Moroha is about to get one hell of a payday, and hopefully she'll be able to pay off her debts with the head of one of the 4 perils. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Yashahime? Yeah, this one was pretty damn good. Nothing too impressive in terms of the action department, but for the backstory that we got for Riku, the official confirmation of how the Rainbow Pearls were created, just the fact that they were able to bring in the Shikon Jewel into this story and incorporate it into everything, again just makes this feel a little more cohesive, and it ties it a lot more heavily to the lore of the original series, and that's always a good thing. While it is tied to the past, it's also paving its way for its very own future with all of these brand new characters, and that alone I think is pretty interesting. While I think it is a little crazy that we're already getting to another moon session with Toa losing her powers, it did serve a story purpose to bring in Riku and to, delve on a little bit into his backstory a little bit. So while it did feel a little shoehorned in, it was a great vehicle for getting to learn a little bit more about him and what his overall deal is, especially because while I think he's in love with Zero, it's kind of hard to tell. Zero's kind of like the only person who ever sort of like put up with Riku's stuff, and I think that's kind of interesting here. I'm not sure if he's really in love with her, or maybe he has a thing for Toa. They're kind of messing with the minds of the viewers a little bit. Really, I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and theories about that in the comments section below. But overall, I thought that this was a pretty solid episode, to be perfectly honest. Not groundbreaking, not explosively awesome, but one of the better ones that I've seen in a little while, and it's getting us even closer to that big finale of the season, which hopefully is going to be paying off very soon, considering that Riku only needs 2 more of these rainbow pearls and that Kirin and is moving closer. I think things are really going to intensify from here. So I'm going to give this episode right here a 4 out of 5. I thought it was another solid addition to the series. Again, being that I am a fan of the series, I'm being a little biased in some senses. I think this is one of the more stronger episodes in a while. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But yours may differ, and you can sound off in the comment section below, telling me what you thought about the latest episode of Yashahime. Any theories as to what Riku's true plans are with these rainbow pearls? Does he simply just want to return them to Lady Zero? Is he in love with her? Is there an ulterior motive? What do you want to see from the rest of Yashahime? Sound off in the comment section below, and of course tell me what you thought about the latest episode of the series. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you liked the video, please think about giving the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, I would like to take this time to thank all of my patrons. You guys are awesome making those monthly donations. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choice, as well as adding your name to this list of super awesome people. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.